Hello, my name is Don, and this show explores my visit in June 2003 to Michipicoten Village and Harbour outside Wawa, Ontario. As I approached the village on Highway 17 from Sault Ste. Marie, I reached the Michipicoten River and bridge before the mission. This river is part of a principal canoe route that joined Lake Superior to James Bay. The Michipicoten is a beautiful river. We stop off to visit an old friend, Mrs. Ann May, who runs the Cedar Hoff restaurant. I knew Ann when I taught high school in Wawa, Ontario, between 1972 and 1975. She was a wonderful cook, or is a wonderful cook, and produced some great meals. Now we enter Michipicoten River Village. The mission started as an Indian mission supporting the Hudson's Bay Company fur trading post at Michipicoten. The village grew with the growth of the Canadian Pacific Railway to the north, and then became the shipping point for the gold rush town of Wawa in 1897. During my stay in Wawa, I enjoyed writing many articles about the local history of the area. When I was there in the 1970s, the mission was quite a romantic place. There were many old buildings and log cabins. This is what it looked like in the early 1900s. St. Thomas Anglican Church was central to life in the early Michipicoten Village mission. The mission, when I visited it in 2003, is like any other Canadian suburb. It's a quiet, peaceful place and exceptionally scenic. Silver Falls is a very scenic part of the mission. Here's the bridge over Silver Falls, headed to the harbour on the gravel Harbour Road. The harbour is the center of an Indian reservation belonging to the Ojibwa tribes. We pass a pioneer graveyard with many of the graves dating back to the early 1900s. Back in 1972 and 1973, I brought my students here to do local research into the early pioneers. Here's our first view of Lake Superior from the Harbour Road. The road itself is windy and has some fairly steep hills. It can be really treacherous in winter when covered with ice and snow. A notable landmark and a place to stop off in summer is Sandy Beach on Lake Superior. The water is always very cold. Here's an early view of the harbour shot in probably the mid-1900s or earlier. The harbour was used to ship iron ore to the blast furnaces of the Algoma Steel Corporation in Sault Ste. Marie. It was also a terminal for the Algoma Central Railway. In the early days, some of the settlers here had fun. When I was there in the 1970s, much of the infrastructure remained. Here's the harbour today. Almost nothing remains of the earlier structures. Here's the view from the old wharf looking towards the mission or Michipicoten village. The Algoma Central Railway still remains. Thanks for joining me in my exploration of Michipicoten village and the harbour outside Wawa, Ontario.